Leviticus 22, Priestly Uncleanness. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons to be very careful how they treat the holy things that the Israelites devote to me, so that they do not make my holy name impure. I am the Lord. Say to them, if any descendant of yours should ever come near the holy things that the Israelites have dedicated to the Lord while he is in an unclean state, he will be cut off from before me. I am the Lord. Any descendant of Aaron who is afflicted with skin disease or has a discharge cannot eat of the holy things until he is clean. Anyone who touches anything made unclean by a dead body, or who has an emission of semen, or who touches any swarming creature, or another person who makes him unclean, whatever the uncleanness might be, the person who touches these things will be unclean until evening. He must not eat of the holy things unless he has bathed his body in water once the sun has set, and he has become clean again. He may eat of the holy things, for that is his food. He must not eat an animal that has died naturally or that was killed by another animal, becoming unclean by doing so. I am the Lord. The priests must keep my requirement so that they don't become liable to punishment and die for having made it impure. I am the Lord who makes them holy. Unauthorized eating. No layperson is allowed to eat the holy offerings. No foreign guest or hired laborer of a priest can eat it. But if a priest purchases a servant, that person can eat it, and servants born into the priest's household can also eat his food. If a priest's daughter marries a layman, she is not allowed to eat the holy offerings. But if a priest's daughter is a widow or divorced and has no children, and so returns to her father's household as when she was young, she can eat her father's food. But, again, no layperson is allowed to eat it. If someone eats a holy offering unintentionally, they must provide the priest with an equal item plus 1/5. The Israelites must not make the holy offerings impure that they offer up to the Lord, or make themselves liable to punishment requiring compensation by eating their own holy offerings. I am the Lord who makes them holy. Unacceptable animal offerings. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron, his sons, and all the Israelites, whenever someone from Israel's house or from the immigrants in Israel presents their offering to the Lord as an entirely burned offering, whether it is payment for a solemn promise or a spontaneous gift, for it to be acceptable on your behalf, it must be a flawless male from the herd, the sheep or the goats. You must not present anything that has an imperfection, because it will not be acceptable on your behalf. Whenever someone presents a communal sacrifice of well-being to the Lord from the herd or flock, whether it is payment for a solemn promise or a spontaneous gift, it must be flawless to be acceptable. It must not have any imperfection. You must not present to the Lord anything that is blind or that has an injury, mutilation, warts, a rash, or scabs. You must not put any such animal on the altar as a food gift for the Lord. You can, however, offer an ox or sheep that is deformed or stunted as a spontaneous gift, but it will not be acceptable as payment for a solemn promise. You must not offer to the Lord anything with bruised, crushed, torn, or cut off testicles. You must not do that in your land. You are not allowed to offer such animals as your God's food, even if they come from a foreigner. Because these animals have blemishes and imperfections in them, they will not be acceptable on your behalf. Additional rules for sacrifice. The Lord said to Moses, "When an ox or sheep or goat is born, it must remain with its mother for 7 days. From the 8th day on, it will be acceptable as an offering, a food gift for the Lord. but you will not slaughter an ox or sheep and its offspring on the same day. When you sacrifice a communal sacrifice of thanksgiving for the Lord, you must sacrifice it so that it will be acceptable on your behalf. It must be eaten on the same day. You must not leave any of it until morning. I am the Lord. You must keep my commandments and do them. I am the Lord. You must not make my holy name impure so that I will be treated as holy by the Israelites. I am the Lord, the one who makes you holy and who is bringing you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord. Leviticus 23. Sacred Times. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, these are my appointed times, the Lord's appointed times, which you will declare to be holy occasions. Work can be done for 6 days, but the 7th day is a Sabbath of special rest, a holy occasion. You must not do any work on it. Wherever you live, it is a Sabbath to the Lord. These are the Lord's appointed times, holy occasions, which you will celebrate at their appointed times. The Lord's Passover is on the 14th day of the 1st month at twilight. The Lord's festival of unleavened bread is on the 15th day of the same month. You must eat unleavened bread for 7 days. On the 1st day, you will hold a holy occasion and must not do any job-related work. You will offer food gifts to the Lord for 7 days. The 7th day will be a holy occasion. You must not do any job-related work. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land that I am giving you and harvest its produce, you must bring the first bundle of your harvest to the priest. The priest will lift up the bundle before the Lord so that it will be acceptable on your behalf. The priest will do this on the day after the Sabbath. On the day the bundle is lifted up for you, you must offer a flawless 1-year-old lamb as an entirely burned offering to the Lord. The accompanying grain offering must be 2/10 of an ephah of choice flour mixed with oil, as a food gift for the Lord, a soothing smell. The accompanying drink offering must be 1/4 of a hin of wine. You must not eat any bread, roasted grain, or fresh grain until the exact day when you bring your God's offering. This is a permanent rule throughout your future generations, wherever you live. You must count off 7 weeks, starting with the day after the Sabbath, the day you bring the bundle for the uplifted offering. These must be complete. You will count off 50 days until the day after the 7th Sabbath. Then you must present a new grain offering to the Lord. From wherever you live, you will bring 2 loaves of bread as an uplifted offering. These must be made of 2/10 of an ephah of choice flour, baked with leaven as early produce to the Lord. Along with the bread, you must present 7 flawless 1-year-old lambs, 1 bull from the herd, and 2 rams. These will be an entirely burned offering to the Lord, along with their grain offerings and drink offerings, as a food gift of soothing smell to the Lord. You must also offer 1 male goat as a purification offering and 2 1-year-old lambs as a communal sacrifice of well-being. The priest will lift up the 2 sheep along with the bread of the early produce as an uplifted offering before the Lord. These will be holy to the Lord and will belong to the priest. On that very same day, you must make a proclamation. It will be a holy occasion for you. You must not do any job-related work. This is a permanent rule wherever you live throughout your future generations. When you harvest your land's produce, you must not harvest all the way to the edge of your field, and don't gather every remaining bit of your harvest. Leave these items for the poor and the immigrant. I am the Lord your God. The Lord said to Moses, Say to the Israelites, on the first day of the 7th month, you will have a special rest, a holy occasion marked by a trumpet signal. You must not do any job-related work, and you must offer a food gift to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, note that the 10th day of this 7th month is the day of reconciliation. It will be a holy occasion for you. You must deny yourselves and offer a food gift to the Lord. You must not do any work that day, because it is a day of reconciliation to make reconciliation for you before the Lord your God. Anyone who does not deny themselves on that day will be cut off from their people. Moreover, I will destroy from their people anyone who does any work on that day. You must not do any work. This is a permanent rule throughout your future generations, wherever you live. This is a Sabbath of special rest for you, and you must deny yourselves. You will observe your Sabbath on the 9th day of the month, from evening to the following evening. The Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, the festival of booths to the Lord will start on the 15th day of the 7th month and will last for 7 days. The first day is a holy occasion. You must not do any job-related work. For 7 days you will offer food gifts to the Lord. On the 8th day you will have a holy occasion and must offer a food gift to the Lord. It is a holiday. You must not do any job-related work. These are the Lord's appointed times that you will proclaim as holy occasions, offering food gifts to the Lord, entirely burned offerings, grain offerings, communal sacrifices, and drink offerings, each on its proper day. This is in addition to the Lord's Sabbaths, and in addition to your presents, all the payments for solemn promises, and all the spontaneous gifts that you give to the Lord. Note that on the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered the land's crops, you will celebrate the Lord's festival for 7 days. The first day and the 8th day are days of special rest. On the first day, you must take fruit from majestic trees, palm branches, branches of leafy trees, and willows of the streams, and rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. You will celebrate this festival to the Lord for 7 days each year. This is a permanent rule throughout your future generations. You will celebrate it in the 7th month. For 7 days, you must live in huts. Every citizen of Israel must live in huts, so that your future generations will know that I made the Israelites live in huts when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses announced the Lord's appointed times to the Israelites.